Okay, so in this video, I'm going to show you my script, my security script for Arch Hyperland. So what it does is it will actually install all the security tools and enable all security features that Linux is capable of. So what I've done is I've take the features and pretty much the playbook of Kicksecure. So Kicksecure is a team that actually goes out of the way to secure Debian systems, Debian in especially Debian. So I've taken some of that rules and just applied to Arch to secure it completely. So yeah, let's get into it. So I would like it if you can like and subscribe, so I can make more of these types of videos. Right. So as you can see, this is a clean Arch Hyperland install. There is nothing on here. Like say Brave. I needed to install Brave, obviously. So let's just run it and then I can explain it a bit better. So in the end, there's a bonus tool or a bonus script that I want to talk about as well. Let's just cd into my folder first, if I can type. I think it's documents. This one works a bit different. It's just scripts. Right, so this one is called Arch Secure. This is the main script, and this script will actually call check update and harden Clamav. So this will be the second two scripts that you have to run. So first, the check update script. This is just a basic script that will remind you that you have updates. So for me, I can't remember to update all my Arch. I think I have 4 Arch Hyperland VMs running. So I don't know which one needs updating, and I just forget. I try to update them every day, but there was some of them that actually took that needed updating. It was already 2 weeks behind. So yeah, a little update reminder program. So what it does is it just basically checks if there's an update repository for Arch, and if there is, it will pop out a notify box. So obviously you can see there's an update, and then you can manually update your system. So previously I had a pop-up box that actually gave you a choice to upgrade. So you would say, do you want to upgrade? There's an update, and you say yes or no. If you say yes, it will actually start updating. But the problem is, because you're not in a terminal, you won't see what's happening. Is it updating or not? So I just scrapped that idea, and I know Arch users is more hands-on, so they would like to just do it themselves. So just a little reminder, and then you know, oh yeah, I need to update. Boom, there you update. So that's what that one does. Right, and then the other one is, I think, so this one is probably not that important, but it's nice to have. So, but I think this one is quite important, Harden Clamav. So for the check update, I've made a video. I've made a video of this if you want to check it out. And then I've made a video about how to harden up Clamav as well. So just check there. Right, so harden Clamav, but what this does is, well, we all know Clamav, so I like to have at least some sort of a antivirus on my system. So when I download a file that I'm not too sure about, obviously I don't go to sites that's a bit risky, but sometimes there's a site and there's a tool that I want, and I want the ability to just scan it somehow to just make sure. I know I can upload it to sites that scan it for me, like what's that sites now? Total, can't remember now, but I like to have the ability to scan it myself as well. That's why I always just install Clamav on all my Linux, on all my Arch systems. Right, but Clamav on its own is fine, but it's not that, its signature database is not that updated, you know. It's not being maintained as vigorously as it should be, but it's still good. I mean, I think Clamav is in the top 10 of antivirus, but on the lower end. So to improve that, I installed this script, actually installed a third-party signature database, which is called Sane Security. So Sane Security is pretty good. I mean, it's huge and it's being maintained by the community and it's pretty up to date. So it just improves Clamav's ability to detect malicious activities or software. So that's the one thing that the script does. So it actually downloads that database, signature database, and the tool that will keep that database up to date. I think the tool is called Fang Fresh or something like that. Yeah. Right, and then the other part of this script, what it does is it actually enables on-axis scanning. The on-axis scanning is built into Clamav, but it's not enabled by default. So what it does is if you click on any file on your computer, it will actually capture it, put it like in a sandbox environment, send it to clamd, the daemon, and the clamd will actually do the scanning to see if it's a malicious file or not, using those databases, Clamav's default database and obviously Sane Security database, to check if it's a virus or a software that has been hijacked. Yeah. So if it's a virus, it will block it. If it's not, then it can execute. It will release it and then execute it. Right, so it does that. Yeah, so it does those two parts. That hardens up Clamav quite a bit. So that's the script, that's other script. Right, so obviously if you run Artsecure, it will call check update. It will give you a choice. Do you want to be to get an update reminder? You can say yes or no, and the same with Harden Clamav. You don't have to harden it up, but I think it's a good idea to do it actually. Right, so this is a new system. I just copied these files over to this Arch. So I'm gonna have to chmod these to make them executable. So first, archsecure.sh. Now I'm gonna take a chance, built into this. It will actually check if these ones are executable. And then if they're not, they will make them executable. Otherwise, just make them all executable by chmod. Yes, so let's run that. Right, so if you ls again, you will see it's green now. It's executable. So let's run it. Right, sudo. So let's run it sudo because it's doing a lot of stuff. Typing and talking is quite challenging. So what this will do now is we'll first check for an update. We'll update your system first. Just a good thing to do. Right, there's a little bit explanation what it does, and it's gonna update this. So this script will help you implement Kicksecure inspired security features on your Arch Linux system. Okay, so let's see. Pre-check installation, yay, in detecting existing features. So it will just list things that needs to be installed and that's already installed. So as you can see, the yay is installed. File log configuration, that must be something by default. Right, this is all the things that it is going to do. So firewall, umask, Linux, harden kernel, sysctl hardening, grub kernel parameters. Then the LKRG is a bit experimental, I think. It could fail. So if that fails, it's not a big thing. Then Apparmor, that's a good program to have. Actually blocks programs from executing if they don't have permissions, the right permissions. Right, application sandboxing, that's FireGel. Secure time synchronization. I can't even remember what all these things does though. Right, bootloader password, entropy announcements, console lockdown, so it restricts your root login. You can still log in, but I mean it restricts it if you're compromised. Automatic terminal logout. So if there's no action on your computer or you're away from your keyboard, it will just close the terminal down. Order D, so it's just an auditing system of everything that's happening on your system. Rootkit detection, so you can choose to install Archihunter and CH rootkit just to scan your system for stuff like that, but you can skip that if you want to. System snapshot, time shift is a good thing to roll back if anything happens to your arch. You can just roll it back to a previous state. Real-time antivirus scanning. This is what is that other script now? Harden Clamav. There's that script, so you're gonna call that script. It's gonna give you a choice. Do you want to harden up Clamav? So real-time antivirus scanning. That means on-axis scanning. And then the update reminder. There it is. So let's just see. So it's gonna ask you first for time shift. So I'm just gonna say no, otherwise it's gonna take forever. Then FireGel. Right, and then UMask. I'm just gonna no on all of these. Linux hardened kernel. So Linux does have a hardened kernel, more secure kernel. Right, then we have sysctl hardening. Grub. LKRG. Apparmor. I'm gonna actually install Apparmor because that's one of the programs that I need. Right, and there's the other script. So it's gonna call that other script check update. So do you want to set up a weekly update reminder using check update.sh? I'm gonna say yes. So it's gonna run that script now. Right, so that checking the check update, let me just see. So what that script does, the other thing that script does is it has to install Dunst and Dunstify, which is the notification, that little notification box that slides out. You need that actually to work. So it will install that and make sure it's running. So that's what it does there. But if it doesn't run, or if it doesn't work, you can just manually install it. Just say sudo pacman dunst and libnotify is the actual other program. Anyway, let's move on. So that one was successful. Right, so do you want to install and configure Clamav for real time? Okay, now it's asking that one. So this is the on-axis scanning ability and that community database that it wants to install. So yes, I want to do that. So do you want to update the system packages? Okay, this is just your system updating again. So let's just say yes. I know it checked there at the beginning. Why it's asking again is you can actually run these other two scripts, check update and harden Clamav on it on their own as well. So do you want to install Clamav and Fangfrish? So there is that little program that will now download that same security database. So say yes. You can either type Y or just press enter because default on yes. Defaults on yes. But you can run these other two scripts by themselves. Completely by themselves as well. You don't have to run them. I actually suggest that you run them even after running this and running those two scripts within this one. Just run them again. Make sure everything is definitely up and running. Right, okay, it's asking for a password. Put that in. So the main script, art secure, you can actually do that manually. There's nothing in there that needs scripting. So it's just features and programs that needs to be enabled and installed. So you can do that manually. And I'll leave a post that will actually show how to do it manually. But these other two scripts, obviously you need the script because it has to run regularly, like the update. The update, check update actually creates a service and a timer because it has to check every week. So the timer will be triggered and it will run the service. It will tell the service to execute the little script to check for the update. It's just that one. The Harden and the Harden Clam AV you only run once. You don't. Okay, you run it once, and then it creates its own timer to check for the database to update. That you don't have to worry about. That's part of the Fang Fresh program. Okay, that seems to be it. So it will throw you a summary of all the things that it did. So that Failog, Apparmor, update reminder check, real-time antivirus, and all the other stuff as well. Oh yeah, and then the skipped one. So I skipped most of these things. So if you don't skip it, it will be in the green, and anything that failed will be here. So it will just tell you you need to reboot because some of those applications and settings need to reboot. So I'm just going to say no. Right, so let's just clear this. Right, and then let's just see my oh yeah. So I said, yeah, if you run this, even if these ones are not executable, so I didn't chmod them, these two. This script will actually check if they executable, and then if they're not, it will make them executable. So that is quite good. I forgot about that actually, that I did that. But it's actually important if you run this only and including those ones. So I'm gonna run. So if you're gonna run these separately, so I'm just gonna quickly show you how to run them. Right, to check update will be run as my user, so it doesn't need sudo. So I can just run it. So check update.sh. So if you're gonna run it for the first time on its own, you need to put in the setup flag at the end. So what it does is it sets up the service and the timer files, and it saves them with all their data, and it sets it to like 1 week or 1 day if you want to check every day. Yeah, that is basically what that does. Does it? Oh yeah, it installs the notification, Dunstify, and lib notify. So it installs those necessary services and programs for your notification to pop out. So all that is done with the setup flag. So what a setup flag does is it doesn't look at the rest of the scripts. The rest of the script, it only checks if there's anything that needs installation and setup, and then as soon as that is done, it will drop out of the script. So I'm gonna just run it just to see if there's any issues. Right, so let's run it. So without sudo, obviously. Check update.sh. What am I missing? Nah, just run it. Right, it wants to install Pacman contributes. Just features that it needs. Just install that. That's why I say to run this separately as well, just to make sure everything is installed. And it still might, you see, it still might throw an error. That lip notify SO, I've read that it's some kind of a security feature, doesn't want to install it through a script like that, or there's something there. So if you see this, then just install it. So sudo, I have yay on here. I can say yay. Oops. And then we can say it's, I don't think I have to install done, just lip notify. Lip notify. So you can literally just manually install it and it will install. So the script does try to install it, but for some reason it's being blocked installing that specific file. So now it should be good. So let's just run this again and just see. And there it goes, there's the pop out. So there's no updates here. So they have that pop out, and it will tell you, okay, there's an update. So that one actually says there's an update there. So let's clear this. Let's just run that again. Let me just make something sure. Just want to make yeah, there it is now, yeah. So it will give you this message when you encounter an error. Manually install dunce and lip notify by running sudo pacman -s dunce lip notify. So obviously if you run it and this doesn't pop out and it gives you an error, just manually install that and it will fix it for sure. Right, so the other one, let's just run Harden Clamav as well. So it has run successfully. So this one you have to run with sudo because it installs stuff and all of that. So sudo what am I doing? I'm so stupid. Blue screening. Harden clamav.sh. Let me just think now. This one needs a setup as well because it's, what does it do? No, it doesn't need a setup. What am I talking about? Alright, just run it. But yeah, this one is not so important to run it separately. I'm just gonna say no because my system has been updated already a few times. So we can say yes just to run this. But if there's no errors in the main script, art secure, if there's no errors there, you don't really have to run Harden Clamav again. So that is not a problem. That's on axis scanning. It always says that, gives that error, but it's actually running. But you can make sure the service is running of clam on ACC. That's the on axis scanning. I'll leave that in the comments or on the post. So if there's any issues, just run through those solutions. Right, then I said at the end of the video I'm gonna show the other one. Let's just clear this quickly. The other script that could be quite important for you, it's Apparmor Clamav warnings. I didn't put this in the main script because, yeah, there was too many issues. It's better to just run it on its own. So I have to chmod this +x Apparmor clamav warnings.sh. So what this one does, let's just make it executable. So what this script does is it's quite basic as well. So all it does is it actually looks at the Apparmor and Clamav logs. So if Apparmor for some reason blocked an application, it will log it. If Clamav discovered a malicious software when you double clicked, or something you downloaded something to your system and it detects this malware, it will log it as well. So what this script will do is it will check those logs if there's anything that was found or blocked or any warnings, and it will use this notify. It will use this little notify box to actually tell you there's something going on. Let me just think now. Yeah, that's basically what it does. So you check the logs of these two programs. If there's anything, any warnings in there, it will just output it to you. And then you know, because these programs run silently in the background, if they block things, you wouldn't know. You're going to have to go into the logs yourself. So it's just a little warning that tells you that maybe there's something going on. So what this Apparmor Clamav warnings script actually does is it creates a service and a timer as well, same as check update, because it has to check those logs regularly. But I made mine just check it just once a week, just to test it really. You can check every day, but yeah, so it needs the timer. The timer will trigger and it will activate a service, and the service will run the script, and the script will check the logs if there's anything going on, and then outputs it to this notification box. That's pretty much that. So I'm gonna have to set this up. Okay, just run it like this. So Apparmor command is not found. Do you want to install it? Yes. Default on enter. Clamav command not found. So just say yes, because it needs to check it again. If it's there, it will just skip it or update it. So those errors are not that important. It's just the environment you're working in that it throws an issue. But as you can see here, active. So the timers are running, and it will actually check now once a week. Okay, so let's test to see if it will actually detect something. There is a little file that you can download from the internet that looks like a virus, an infected file, but it's not. So let's just open that. Kate. Ooh, did I install Kate? Yeah. So it's this one. It will just create this file. You can literally just copy it in. Control V. So it echoes the string into the icar.com. Create that file, and if you run that, and then if we run my script again without setup, yeah, just let's run. There it is. So Clamav found threads. Check temp. See, it actually outputs that thread now. And you can actually go to the clamd.log file. That's where all the things getting logged, and you will see the same output there. It will actually say Clamav detection. So this is actually taken from that log file, the string. So Clamav found threads. Yeah, well, this is the log file one. Gives you the time, the path. There's the icar file that we just created, obviously in my local folder. There's the string and it says found. So if you go to that log file, or maybe you should go there. Right, let's clear that. So that file, clam dlog, you can find in, if you go to all your files here, var log, not log, var log, clam av, clam dlog here. So you just copy that path. And then let's just see if we can open it. Control V. Right, so it's clamd.log. Control X. Let's just sudo that. What am I doing? Sudo. Right, so if you go down, it should show something of what it has detected. Okay, I have to go down, obviously. Quarantine of the file, there it is. Yeah, all of these warnings actually found that iCar file. There's the iCar file. So I've just created that file and it detected it in here. And this is where the script will actually check if there's anything going on and then outputs it to the notify. So yeah, that is pretty much all of that. That's what all the scripts does, which I think is pretty cool. So yeah, give me some feedback. How do you secure your system? Is there any third-party tools that you install, or don't you just don't believe that Arch needs any securing? Because okay, this, I know this is overkill. This is completely overkill, but I mean, this I'm just showing you the possibilities and how far you can actually secure a system. But for me personally, I do implement some of them just to test them. Would it break something? So I've been running them for a while now, months and months, and it hasn't break anything. I can still access everything. My LAN is still working. I can copy files back and forth. Internet's fine. So, you know, the normal stuff is fine. But I wouldn't implement, for me personally, everything. It's yeah, like I said, it's overkill. But definitely the update reminder and the harden clam AV, hardening up clam AV, I think it's pretty important. This little detection one as well. If you're not careless on the internet, then your system won't be infected. So yeah, that is it. Good.